When you were preparing for your little one's arrival, I wonder what you thought you'd need. You need so much stuff, don't you? The clothes, the nappies, the buggy. It's amazing how it fills up your entire house. But more than that, you need the strength and the energy to keep going. Some of that might come from your morning cuppa, but we really need people, other people in our lives to help and support us. Because parenting can be really hard, and we were never meant to do it alone. Historically, of course, extended families and friends used to work together to raise children, but we know it's not always like that anymore. But you need those people. You need the people to message when you're worried, people to meet up with just to get out of the house, people to laugh with about the gross bits and the messy bits, and to share your child's new skill or trick. Now, you may already have many of those people, the grandparents or godparents who you've already invited to be part of your child's life. But there is a whole wider community ready and willing to support you and your family, and that's the church. Church is a group of people who are trying to follow God and be there for each other. In church, you'll find people to help you, to laugh with you, to cry with you, basically to be there in the good times and in the bad. Being part of a church community gives us a sense of belonging, and that's important for us as well as for our children. What else is church there for? Well, there's a whole list of reasons. Let me share a few of them with you now. Church is a place to be loved and to love others. It's somewhere to be seen just as you are without needing to pretend. It's a place to be needed, using what you're good at to help others and be part of something bigger. It's a place to meet with God at your own pace, to get to know him better and learn more about him. And as you do that, you'll meet with imperfect people of all ages who are doing the same thing. They'll have different struggles and triumphs from you, and so you can support and learn from each other. And finally, it's a place to ask questions, to be prayed for, and to receive help. Churches vary hugely in terms of what they offer and the way that they do things. But in all of them, you'll find people who are willing to be extended family and community for you and your child. So look for a church where you feel welcome and comfortable, where you can be encouraged and challenged. As you and your child go along to church, you'll get to see lots of different people and what their relationship with God looks like. And also a little bit of what that looks like and how they interact when they come together to support, help, and love each other. Even the tiniest babies will watch and observe what's going on around them and pick up on what the atmosphere is like. If you haven't been to church much before, some bits can seem a little bit weird. So I'm just going to talk you through some things that might happen so you know what to expect and how you and your little one can be involved. So to start off with, arriving, most churches will have someone to welcome you at the door. Now these people are here to help, so ask any questions that you might have. That could be about where to feed your baby, where to change them, where to play with them. They will know all of that. Lots of churches have a creche, a children's corner, or a children's group, something like that. So do feel free to ask about that. Then the service itself. The person at the front will explain what happens, and you might also have a service sheet, a book, or sometimes projected slides to help you follow along. Again, feel free to ask questions of anyone around you. And with your little one with you, you might want to whisper to them what's going on and point out some of those things. The service where your baby or toddler is baptised or dedicated will probably include some extra elements. Don't worry, the church leader will talk you through these in advance and what you and the godparents need to do. Then the music. Most churches sing songs together, either to God, about him, or both. And you'll see people connecting with him in different ways in this time. So some will sit down, some will stand up, some like to sing out really loudly, some like to just sit and listen to the words. Feel free to join in whatever way feels natural and comfortable for you. And help your little one to do that too, so they can watch what's going on around them and how different people are connecting. You might want to lift them up so they can see a little bit better, or move to a different space in the church where they've got more room to move around, to dance and enjoy the music. Most churches will also have prayers at some point too. This is just another way of connecting with God. There may be set prayers to join in with, and the words will either come up on a screen or be in a service sheet or a book, and you can say the words all together. Or it might be that one person just chats to God out loud from the front and everyone else listens. If you agree with what they're saying, you can say Amen, which means I agree. And you can teach your little one to join in with that as well, saying Amen or using the Makaton sign. Amen. There's usually a time where someone gives a talk to help people learn more about life with God. This will often refer to a little bit of the Bible, which will be read out or come up on the screen. And this is a longer period of being quiet. So most churches will be happy for you to grab your change bag and give your child some snacks, toys or books, or they may suggest that you take them to the creche or the children's corner at this point. There may be a section called the breaking of bread, communion, or the Eucharist, where the church has bread and wine together. I know that sounds a little bit odd, but it's really just remembering a meal that Jesus had with his friends. And it's a chance for us to remember Jesus dying on the cross and to thank him for being in our lives. If you'd rather not take part, that's absolutely fine. You can sit quietly and ask for a prayer or blessing instead of having the bread and wine. Thanks. After the service, or sometimes beforehand as well, there's normally a chance to grab a drink, a tea or a coffee, and chat to the people who've also come to church. This is a great opportunity to get to know them a bit better and to introduce you and your family. Do be honest, share the joys and struggles of your week. They might even offer to pray for you, and feel free to say yes or no, whatever you're comfortable with. And don't be embarrassed or shy about nipping off when you need to. This is normally lunchtime, and we all know little ones' tummies know when it's time to eat. Remember, there are no silly questions, so feel free to ask the person who shared this video with you or anyone who you meet on a Sunday anything that you want to know. Churches tend to follow a similar kind of pattern, so it won't be very long before you know what to expect and can tell your child what's coming up and what's going on. It takes boldness and courage to go to church and try it if you haven't been before. But it is amazing to find people to go on this parenting journey with you, to support you, help you, and love you. So give it a go. So where to take it from here? If you're nervous about trying church, why don't you ring or email the church and see if there's someone who could meet you at the door, sit with you, and just explain what's going on. Or perhaps you already know someone who goes to church. Why don't you ask if you could go with them? It's so much nicer to go with a friend, isn't it? If you want to keep exploring, you can go onto our website, parentingforfaith.org. There's loads of stuff about babies and toddlers on there. And there's a whole course, the Parenting for Faith course, that you can watch on your own, you can watch with a partner or a friend, or maybe a group of friends or some people from church. We also have a podcast where you'll get to hear different ideas, interviews, and questions sent in from people just like you.